Alright, so we finally got some good progress with this thing. Just was warming it up, checking over everything, getting my fuel pressure set, the TPS set, trans fluid where it needs to be. Cold side's done. And everything's ready to go. I'm trying to wire in my LC1 wideband. I didn't get finished with that yet, but I'll try to finish that up tomorrow sometime. Cold side wasn't too difficult. Laid out pretty good. It just comes out, down, over, and around. And then on this side, it comes through actually it comes under the frame and then turns up. It worked out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Map sensor. I'll need to get another gauge for my fuel pressure because I didn't catch it, but when I was hooking the gauge up, I looked down at the needle and it was on like 10 or 11 psi. So not 100% sure on the fuel pressure, so I'll need to get that, make sure that's dialed in. So speaking of dialed in, the map sensor I have is 122238116, I believe. And then trying to find the data for HP tuners for the linear and the offset, I found several different values from -11 to 10.35, and you know, I was just getting frustrated with it. You know, because usually the ones I get, you know, already have the data with it, but this was just a brick sensor I had laying around. So anyway, I ended up at a -11. It was showing 12.2 barometric, so which, you know, it should be 14.7 here. So I found another one that said 1.11, and that got me to 14.2. So I think I ended up at, I think it's 1.5 or something, but it was still actually a little low. So it's probably gonna be like, I don't know, 2.35 maybe on the offset and get it right at 14.7. But I had read something where if you flash one of these ECUs too many times, it can brick it. So I was kind of scared with, you know, keep chugging numbers, you know, to get it just right, bricking the ECM. So I kind of, you know, would I tried to, I guess, interpolate, but apparently thermo was a long time ago. So anyway, it's close enough to where when it's running, it's good. The other problem I had is when I first got it going, it was idling at like 1500 RPM, just way up. And so I was looking, you know, this is a Edelbrock 90mm throttle body. So I was loosen this, and the, you know, the genius that put the alternator right beside this, I had to loosen the bolt and tilt this up so I can get to the bolts to finagle this. But I ended up drilling them to get more, you know, to rotate it up, you know, looking at it this way clockwise to get the, because it was on like 5% TPS. So once I drilled the holes out and all and put it on there, it dropped it a lot. But I ended up having to turn this screw out to get it to open. This is one of those brackets that I got from Summit, but the problem is when you buy them, this piece is all like, I had to add this much to it to get it where the cable was right. I don't know what, there's probably a low car cable or something, you know, what it's made for. I don't know, but I modified this a long time ago, so, you know, it fits the truck cable. I did have to move this up a little bit on this one because the cable was kind of tight and it was pulling this up to 0.4 after I got this drilled and back this down as far as it would go. I had to put a little more back into it because the throttle in the truck, you know, it was kind of hanging up a little bit, kind of catchy, you know, because the blade is so far closed on it. But anyway, I kept playing with it while it was running and got it, you know, to 0. And, you know, I'd touch it just a little bit more and then go to 0.4. So I backed it back down to 0. You know, it was running okay. And then this has another air bleed through it. So I loosened that up a little bit till it seemed happy. Which I guess, you know, would lessen the counts on the IAC motor. Got transmission full, and that's about it. You know, got my reference on the regulator, got my reference to the wastegate, finished up a couple things there, and while I was under the truck, I found one of my transmission lines had a hairline crack in it, I guess from transferring it from the Escalade to here, and luckily I caught it. And it was it was running down the hard line, so I cut that out and fixed that and put in my O2 bung for this. It's a LC1 Innovate, and I don't know, it's been so long. Well, it's been a minute since I've done one, but I think obviously red is keyed, black is a calibration, but I haven't done one of these before where you have to, it came with some kind of a button and a LED, and you have to wire all that crap in, so I'm not real sure what that is. And then you got these in and out things. I don't know, I just want it to send to the HP so I can data log it. So this is the wire I got going down to the ground once I get it through the grommet into the truck. And then I'm probably gonna put the gauge where that clock was. But yeah, the interior worked pretty good. So getting there. Hopefully, well, it's raining now, which I guess would be pretty good for all-wheel drive hits. We can test that out. So anyway, that's it for tonight.